What's up, guys? Derek here from the Scroll Effect. We are back with Everlasting Summer. Now let's get into it. We have a decision to go to the Clubhouse, kitchen dining hall, or our kitchen dinning hall apparently, and the Infirmary. Um, we're hungry, so we're gonna go the kitchen dinning hall. I always took good care of my health, and even better care at the moments when I couldn't bear it anymore. Now I was able to walk, and my feet weren't even hurting much. So, my feet will heal up eventually while hunger drives the wolf from the wood. Surely the pioneers didn't finish up everything. At least a couple of sausages, eggs, or in the worst case, a few pieces of bread should be left. It was so deserted and quiet around the canteen that I even hesitated for a second. Isn't it here where every pioneer seeks his happiness three times a day, and some even more often? Isn't it an oasis of this heated summer desert? Isn't it a secret chemical lab studying how types of meals unknown to scientific affect immature teenage bodies? Now, this building looks more like a bastion abandoned by its defenders, a kind of La Rochelle left by the Huguenots, something like that. Just get in, and the ghosts of warriors who expected a heroic death will surround you. The sea canteen looked the way it always did, though. What? Oh my gosh. They spaced out the sea and the rest of Canteen. Beautiful. Alright. It was just completely empty, except for Miku, who was cleaning a table. Seeing that, I quickly turned around and tried to sneakily escape, but didn't manage to make it. Hi, Semyon. Did you come here to eat? You missed breakfast, didn't you? I mean, I didn't see you. You could have been there, but I didn't see you. It's good that you came anyway. Hi. Well, yes, I just came, wondering if there's anything left, maybe? There's nothing left. You need to wait for lunch. You won't help me, by the way. What? The grammar in this game. I'm cleaning up here. What for? What do you mean? She puffed up her lips and seemed offended. Somebody has to clean up. We do it in turns. You'll have your turn as well. Thanks, but no. Okay, got it. I was going to leave, but Miku still couldn't stop. So, will you help me? Okay. I don't know why I agreed. It happens often that you make a decision first, then wonder for quite a while, why did you say what you said? You think again and again, and still can't figure out why on earth you did that. I feel like this game's making me feel bad for the decision I made. That's messed up. That's how I felt wiping the tables, one after another. You know, I came up with a new song. Want me to sing it? Not eager at all. No. We started to think. It'd be better to sing and clean up at the same time. I'll sing it later then. Miku gave me a disarming smile. Yes, of course. It's so cool how you saved Shurik yesterday. The entire camp has been talking only about it since early this morning. I feel just like a hero. It was nothing much, really. No, really, I'm serious. I would never dare go into the woods that night. Into the old camp? You know the rumors about it? About a camp leader who shot herself? Before they said she hanged herself. And it's so scary in general. Yep, probably is. Our character is unamused. Unaffected by anything. I tried to isolate myself from external stimuli and concentrate on cleaning. It helped me to finish sooner than I expected. And now it's done. Thanks. There was quite a bit of time until lunch, so I decided to go for a walk. I picked a random direction which could be explained by a single word: forward. In the end, I found myself at the square. This wasn't a surprise at the Monument of Genda. This wasn't a surprise, as the Monument of Genda appeared to be the central hub of this camp, and a kind of kilometer zero. I sat on the bench and started to think. 4 days had passed, and I haven't gotten even an inch closer to working out how I got here. It's true that quite a few strange things happened during this time, but almost every one of them can be explained logically after carefully thinking. Every single one of them could have happened in a normal life. Normal life. This term lost its original meaning to me. Reactions to the environment, the actions and words of other people, or my own words. Indeed, none of this here is normal. In the past 4 days, my worldview had taken a series of painful punches to the stomach, uppercuts, which led it being, if not knocked out, then seriously knocked down. Sometimes I don't understand why I act one way or the other, or say some things. Actually, I do understand, but not straight away. Just afterthoughts, however, don't help me to act differently, more sanely and appropriate to the situation at all. Moments of truth happening to me are becoming more and more rare. If my only wish during the first day was getting out of here, then now my main concerns are where to find food, how to avoid lineup in the morning, and what to say to Olga if Alyssa complains about me, because we were spying on her. And those things are truly important to me. And day after day, daily fuss like this overshadows the thoughts in my head about how the world around me, together with this camp and these girls, are completely abnormal. But I can't do anything about myself, because I just forget. In the same way we breathe without thinking about it, I am joining in the everyday life of the local inhabitants, more and more, without realizing it. I'm steadily becoming an average pioneer. No, this is wrong. I shouted loud and slapped my face a few times. All of a sudden, the bells sound, calling the pioneers for lunch, came from the loudspeakers. Finally, I ran skipping along to the canteen, leaving my inspiring thoughts back at the square where they could sound interesting to Genda alone, and only if he was alive. The day has just started, and I've gone through so many things already. But I did it, and now I have legitimate grounds to fill myself up. Today I wasn't the last one, so I could choose a free table. Lunch included pea soup and mashed potatoes with fish. It was a major disappointment to me, as I don't eat fish in the form and hence will get fewer calories than usually. What? Soon Slavia and Lena came to my table. Can we? She smiled nicely. Eh? Yes, sure. I stood up and pulled out a chair for her. Please. I was in an excellent mood at that moment. Enjoy your meal. Saying that, Lena began staring at me and continued for some time, but then, after realizing how odd she looked, switched to her plate. You too. Do you have any plans for today, Semyon? Nope. I gave her an honest answer, as indeed I had no plans, except for searching for answers, but that was more like a global goal. Do you want to take a boat ride to the island with us? The island? Well, I think I've seen it from the pier. For what? Olga asked us to gather some strawberries. There are lots of strawberries there, and they're so delicious. I could imagine the taste without even eating it, just by looking at Slavia's face. Strawberries. And what are those for? I don't know, but it's indeed a great idea. Well, indeed it is. Moreover, I haven't been to the island yet. Yeah, sure. Off to the pier. Within minutes, we were already standing at the pier. Well, here's the boat. Hang on, I've got to go fetch the paddles now. I was left face to face with Lena. Do you like strawberries? Well, not really. Great pickup line. But they're tasty. Lena smiled. I see. I didn't know what to say next, how to continue the conversation. If Slavia didn't come back, we'd probably sit here till the evening without saying a word. Here you go. She handed me a pair of hefty paddles. Yeah, thanks. We got into the boat. I untied it, pushed off the shores, and tried to start paddling. Where exactly are we headed to? Right there. She pointed her finger towards the island. That island is named the closest one. I wonder what captain gave it such an original name. Well, the island is indeed close to the shore. Aye, aye, Captain. If only I had known what was waiting for me ahead. I wasn't an experienced oarsman. Yeah. I'd rowed a boat just once or twice in my entire life. It was less than half a mile to the island, but we were making our way in zigzags thanks to my skills. By approximately the middle of the trip, my arms hurt so badly that I dropped the paddles to get some rest. Well, aren't there any strawberries anywhere else? I mean, in more accessible places? But the tastiest ones grow there. Slavia gave me a puzzled look. Is it hard for you to row alone? Lena, unlike Slavia, understood everything straight away. Oh, it's nothing. Anyway, I couldn't let a fragile girl help me. The rest of the way, I spent concentrating on staying alive while getting to the island. Slavia and Lena discussed something, but I wasn't listening. That was too much for me. At last we arrived. Completely exhausted, I got out onto the shore, looking at the boathouse. It seemed so far away that I felt like the first person on the moon watching the Earth rise. Here you go. Slavia handed me a basket. It was a small island, barely 100 meters long, and it looked more like a birch grove with even rows of trees covering its entire surface. A calm green sea spread out underneath our feet with wind causing lonely waves on its surface from time to time. This island looked like a lost paradise. It's no wonder that the most delicious strawberries grow just here. We've got to split up. That way we'll do the job faster. Yeah, sure. But there's only 2 baskets, said Lena humbly. Oh, you're right, my bad. So how are we going to split up then? Ooh, I get to choose. Go with the shy one? I'll go with the... I don't know. We'll go with Lena. Seems like a good one. Let me go with you. Let's go. Okay, that's fine. Slavia grabbed the second basket and ventured into the opposite side of the island. Well, let's go. Yeah. She's so awkward. Just pay attention. Don't leave a single berry behind. You too. We gotta concentrate on getting these berries. So, it was harvest time. Indeed, the strawberries here were delicious. I could probably eat them all if I didn't stop myself in time. Despite being wild grown, the berries were close to the garden ones in size and had a rich red color, so it was clear that our visit wasn't in vain. Lena followed me closely as we had only one basket for the both of us. I felt like a real mushroom picker, examining each shrub and carefully pawing the grass. Well, you're so much better than me. Am I? Frankly, I'm not even counting them. Yeah, right you are. The basket was already half full. You must enjoy nature, right? I do. The bright sun rays pierced the treetops and blinded me for a second. I sat down on the ground and leaned against a tree. Still, it's so beautiful here. Lena sat down next to me, so close that our elbows touched. Yeah, we just sat and enjoyed the moment. It seemed like time stood still. The wind gently shook the tree leaves. Some bugs lazily hopped around the grass and splashes of sunlight played on the faraway water surface. Lena put her head on my shoulder. I was surprised at first, but then I heard her regular breathing and thought that it's just a matter of course. Probably she just felt drowsy and wanted to take a quick nap. I just sat there and didn't think of anything for a few minutes. But then words started crossing my mind with ultrasonic speed. Lena, so close, sleeping, so warm, so gentle, feelings. I gazed at her. She had such a serene, such a tranquil look on her face that it seemed like right now she's not here, but in some kind of a better world. I don't know what would have happened the next moment if I didn't hear the voice of Slavia. Semyon, Lena! I shook my head from side to side a few times to come to my senses. Lena started to wake up. She opened her eyes and gave me an empty look. Have a nice dream? Huh? Suddenly, realizing that she had dozed off leaning on my shoulder, she blushed. Oh, I'm sorry. It's fine. Slavia came over to us, so Lena rushed to get up. So, how much have you got? I sighed. That's not a lot. Her basket was filled with strawberries to the brim. Well, it's enough anyway. It's time to get back. I grabbed the basket and we headed back to the boat. The way back took less time as I tried to concentrate on rowing and ignoring everything else. My only wish was to get back alive, as the first trip hadn't gone without consequences, and now my hands started to hurt after only a few sweeps of the oars. Having tied up the boat, I fell to the ground with no energy left. Slavia and Lena leaned over me. You could have said something if it was so hard for you. Yeah. Never mind, it's fine. I'll just lie here for a bit. Everything will be alright. Okay, let's get those baskets to Olga, please. We have something else to do. Yeah, sure. I was ready to agree with anything at that moment, just so I wouldn't have to get up. Slavia put the baskets full of strawberries next to me and headed to the square, happily chatting with Lena about something. The hardest part is done anyway. That's what I thought before I got up and took the baskets. After the rowing, they felt like cement bags, even while weighing barely more than a few kilograms each. So the trip to the camp leader's cabin took much longer than usual. I had to stop every 50 meters to have a rest. Once I finally made it, I put the baskets on the ground and sat on the deck chair with difficulty. Olga, I've got presents for you. There's no answer. I barely managed to get up and enter the cabin. There was nobody there. If you don't need them, if you don't need them, it's up to you. Wait, what? I lay down on the deck chair and fell asleep. I had a weird dream about a strawberry race. I was rowing a boat with my last ounces of strength, trying to escape huge strawberries chasing me. My hands were failing me, and I could barely see anything because the sweat covered my face. Blood was hammering in my temples, but the strawberries were getting closer. They were baring their teeth at me. But wait, strawberries with teeth? Semyon. That is a freaking weird dream. I woke up. Olga was standing beside me, shaking my shoulder. I see you got a rich harvest, didn't ya? We'll give the girls some credit. Okay, but that's not all. Seriously, I was just anticipating the lovely rest I was about to have. Do you even know what these strawberries are for? Not a clue. What an honest confession. We'll make a cake out of them. I see. Well, that makes sense. To honor the miraculous rescue of Shurik, oh, whoops, that's her talking. And it's all thanks to you. It was clear that getting the strawberries wasn't the last thing left to do. And why, please tell me it. If I'm such a hero, why do I have to organize a celebration in my name all by myself? Well, I guess. So, I have an important task for you. We're missing yeast, flour, and sugar, and need it all in the canteen before dinner. And those who will make the cake can't deal with it on their own somehow? I asked pitifully. Of course they can't. All of them are busy, and you are the only one in the whole camp who does nothing. While her words were partly true, that doesn't make it any easier for me now. Moreover, those words felt like a bullet to my head. So write it down. You'll get yeast in the infirmary, flour in the library, and sugar in the clubhouse. Wait, I have no time. I'm in a hurry. Good luck. She smiled slyly and left. Of course, there are a lot of strange things in this camp, but yeast in the infirmary? Okay, I can deal with that, but flour in the library and sugar? No, it's way beyond my comprehension. I spat on the floor. I don't want to. I will not believe this. Just tell me you're pulling my leg. I would not be surprised if a crowd of fat green trolls would appear here right now beside me, with every one of them feeling obligated to laugh at me. So maybe to hell with this cake? I weighed my options for some time. No, if such a major plan of Olga fell through, I'd be in for a world of hurt. And it would complicate both my life in the camp and the search for answers, which I've stopped for quite a while. It seems I have no choice. Off to the clubhouse to get sugar, I guess. Feels like I've gone through more things today than all the previous days combined. Thus, approaching the clubhouse, I'd even forgotten to think about how awkward it must be to look for sugar there. Shurik and Electronic were enthusiastically building something. They were so busy that they didn't even notice me. I looked closely. It was some kind of a robot, or at least the body of one. Moreover, this robot was female and had animal ears. I didn't want to make up theories about purpose of such a device for luminaries of camp cybernetics, even though the design looked practically workable. I had my doubts about this robot ever being able to conquer Earth, or at least being able to do anything on its own. But they seemed to be enjoying the process more that they seemed to be enjoying the process more that the end result. Yeah, the grammar in this game is driving me nuts. Goodness. And that was something we shared, even though I didn't want to admit it. And on the other hand, they weren't afraid of possible failure, criticism, or jokes. They were working towards their goal without paying attention to others, who would call it unrealistic or even absurd. Oh, it looks like I'm truly comparing them to luminaries or the sciences. Hey guys, I greeted them uncertainly. Oh, Semyon, come in. We're always glad to see you. I was actually already inside. You know, sorry for what happened yesterday. I barely remember anything, but, well, never mind, it's okay. And what brings you to our humble abode? Electronic looked at me slyly. Sometimes I feel like he just makes a face when he knows something about the other person, something he can use in a right moment. Sugar. I need sugar. An image from an ancient video game suddenly came into my mind, where some kind of unit like a builder or something cried out to all its 5-pixel stature. Gold. We need more gold. We got it, said Electronic calmly. Why would you want it? I felt that I shouldn't explain to Shurk that they want to bake a cake for him. I shouldn't spoil the surprise. I don't know. Olga told me to get some. Okay, hang on. Electronic disappeared behind the door into the next room. And why do you have sugar here? Why not in the canteen? When the food truck came last time, it was the last thing to unload, and given that our building is the closest one to the entrance, they decided to leave it here to save some effort. That's reasonable, isn't it? The door opened, revealing Electronic hauling a huge bag behind him. I really don't know what the size of the cake will be, but that was obviously too much sugar. Well, thanks, but I don't need it all. But where would we put it? Electronic gave me a surprising look. We don't have a place for it. You asked for sugar, take it. It seems that the previous smile of his wasn't there without reason. Maybe you'll help me then? It's not that far to carry. We're busy. He pointed his hand at the robot. I gazed at Shurik. He owed me, after all. He hesitated, then looked away in shame. I sighed and took the bags and headed to the door. Thanks anyway, I said at parting, exerting myself. But I didn't make it too far. Just after merely 20 meters, I had to put the bag down to have a rest. I had no idea how much it weighed, but it felt like more than 20 kilos. On the other hand, it was just 200 meters to the canteen. On the other hand, wait, what? 2 on the other hands? On the other hand, even such a distance with this payload on my shoulder, or alternately in my hands, or on my legs, or under my arm, or even on my head, looked impossible for me to cover. And as I resigned myself to move in minor sprints with prolonged pauses between them, so I could get there by night at least, I heard a voice from behind me. Maybe I could help you? Hi, Lena. I saw Lena in front of me. I don't think you can. It was one of those moments when I felt painfully how dramatically I was out of shape. I can bring a handcart. A handcart. Why didn't I think of that myself? Yeah, that would be great. Wait here, I'll be right back. She smiled and ran the direction of the square. What would I do without her? It's good that Lena isn't always that shy and can take the initiative sometimes. I started to think. She seemed quite unusual now, with no trace of shyness on her face and actually, the complete opposite, smiles and confidence. The offer of help wasn't something extraordinary by itself, but getting it from Lena? A few minutes later, she came back with the smallish handcart. I put the bag down on it. Thanks. Don't mention it. She blushed and looked down. Oh, the Lena we all know is back. So, I'll go then. Yeah, see ya. And thank you again, I shouted after her. Sometimes I felt like there are two different people living inside of Lena. But the second one, confident, happy, and sometimes even bold, only appears when she talks to me. Or am I making things up again? I thought that'd be better if I get all the ingredients at once, so I headed to Olga's cabin with the handcart. Off to the infirmary. I felt like I visited the infirmary too often recently, but what can I do? That's how things pan out. I sighed and knocked on the door. Come in, the nurse said with a trace of a sing-song accent. Good afternoon. Olga has sent me to get some, I hesitated slightly, yeast. Ah, sure. She gave me a broad smile. It's just that I don't have any, Pioneer. How so? She said that, well, I had some, but now there's none left. I didn't even bother asking why she had it in the first place. Well, don't you worry. You can have some aspirin, for example. That could be of some use to me, actually. Where do I get it, then? I sighed. Take this. She opened the drawer and pulled out some kind of bottle. I took a closer look. It was Osinkinsko beer. What? What's the matter? Beer is also a fermented product. She gave me a deep gaze. Nobody will even notice. She had a point, but everything just looked so grotesque to me that I couldn't find anything to say. Are you sure? Absolutely. Okay then. A bottle clearly wouldn't fit into the pocket of my shorts. Well, thanks, I mumbled shyly, leaving the infirmary. Well, beer certainly could replace yeast. Even my limited knowledge of chemistry and biology was enough to accept this, but generally walking around with this bottle in my hand looks a little silly to me. So I decided to bring it to Olga's cabin and hide it there. But I had to reach it somehow without anybody noticing the beer. I hid the bottle under my shirt. And everything would be fine. But Slavia called out to me at the square. Actually, she sprang out from behind me so suddenly that I even gave a start. How's it going? What exactly? Your search for ingredients. Ah, so you know already. Yes, I do. Slavia smiled. It's going alright. I answered, trying not to give away my unrest. What do you have there? She pointed at the bottle sticking out from under my shirt. Ah, this. She got me. Ah, it's nothing. I blushed with a silly giggle. It's time to go. I was almost running, leaving the square with the puzzled Slavia behind. It's great that she's one of those people who don't ask unnecessary questions. But there are people in this camp who like nothing better than to poke their nose into other people's business. Passing the pioneers' cabins, I stumbled upon Olyana. What are you hiding there? She gave me one of her cheeky looks. I thought there was no point denying anything, so I replied in a provocative manner. It's none of your business. I'm a cipher officer bearing a message to the headquarters. That's certainly a big message. I was carrying the bottle at waist height, so I was slightly embarrassed. You wanted some help? I'll deal with it on my own. I walked past her confidently and proceeded on my way. To my surprise, she didn't say anything, nor try to pursue me. There's nobody at Olga's cabin, so I successfully managed to stuff the bottle under my bed. Once I got outside, I sighed with relief. Really, I couldn't believe that I would ever worry that much about a single bottle of beer, like I was back in high school. It's a good thing now it's safe. Even if somebody finds it, I'll claim that it's not mine. I could always think of a suitable excuse from an enormous experience. Alright, and we'll head to the library in the next episode. Bye!